Don't take it, don't. Don't take it, don't. Don't take it, don't. Don't take it, don't.
Well, greetings, friends. So glad you're here with us. I'm Michael Lerner. I had the strange idea 50 years ago that we could create a center called Commonweal here, and it's still here. A Center for Healing Ourselves and Healing the Earth. How many of you have never been here before, just out of curiosity? Great. Delighted. So basically, Commonweal's a place about healing, learning, the environment, justice, and the arts. We have about 30 projects in the U.S. and around the world that work on these things. Our basic method is to find extraordinary social entrepreneurs with a strong vision of what they want to do and the ability to find the resources to do it. And we get out of their way and let them do what they're all about. So that's basically how Commonweal works and seems to still be working after 50 years. And we have a great young leadership group that's planning the next 50. So that's enough about Commonweal. Toby will introduce Mariah and Matthew, but I want to say my personal welcome to Mariah Parker and Matthew Montfort for being with us for this extraordinary Lloyd Symington Festival of Sacred Music, co-created with my partner, Kira Epstein, the co-director of the New School, who's here, and with my beloved friend, Toby Symington of the Lloyd Symington Foundation, who has been a partner in healing work for 40 years. And I'm so honored that Toby has co-created this extraordinary series with us. If you enjoy this festival, you might want to find the recording of our first Festival of Sacred Music with the pianist Mary Liz Smith. And the next festival will be on the summer solstice, June 22nd. The art show on the walls is by an alum of our cancer help program. We've done 225 week-long retreats. Mira Eastman came on a very recent retreat, and Arlene spotted some of her art, and we invited her to do a show. And so this extraordinary show, I think really very extraordinary show, shows pieces of the reality of what people go through with cancer. So those are all the logistical pieces, and all I want to say personally is that I share with Toby a deep sense of the power of sacred music. We believe sacred music goes far beyond the genre that people think of as classical Western sacred music, and Mariah and Matthew are a deep representative of that. Someone said that architecture is frozen music, and that made me think if architecture is frozen music, music is embodied mathematics. And because mathematics is the language of the cosmos, there's this deep, deep relationship between the mathematical nature of the cosmos, the ubiquity of consciousness in the cosmos, and music as a profound embodiment of that sacred mathematics. So with that, I turn to my colleague Toby Symington for his introduction of Mariah and Matthew and his remarks. Toby, please.
Yeah, thank you, Michael. I want to extend a very warm welcome to everyone here. It's I always love doing things with my dear friend Michael Lerner. I just have to say that our friendship of almost 40 years has been really the point of departure for many collaborations, of which this is one. And many of you may know that Michael recently stepped down as the chair of the Commonweal Board, stepped off the board, and I just wanted to acknowledge his distinguished record of public service over many years, while at the same time sustaining an interior life of great richness and depth. And as he was saying, he had this, a little over 50 years ago, the vision of a healing center, which became Commonweal. And as he was mentioning, I mean, the core mission, healing ourselves, healing the earth. I mean, I really admire that balance, between the inner and the outer, the personal and the planetary. I also want to acknowledge Kira Epstein, the co-director of the New School. Kira's back there. This is a New School production, and Kira has done a great job pulling this all together. I also want to acknowledge Ken Adams, our world-class sound engineer over there, and Claire Hart, who will be providing the refreshments after the concert. So for those of you who are here for the first time, I want to just say a few words about the Festival of Sacred Music, what that's all about. First of all, festival, for our purposes, because the root of the word festival is the word meaning joy, joyful, festive, merry. So this festival, these concerts are an occasion for joy, a time to celebrate, and just to enjoy good music, good company, and good food. Michael was mentioning sacred music and how what we mean by sacred music is not liturgical or explicitly religious music, but rather music which delights, inspires, and elevates the soul, and which can take people to the very depths of their being, to the heart of the real. And I will be inviting, these will be initially mostly friends of mine, to these events, not only people who are accomplished musicians, but who also have who are deeply in touch with the numinous dimension of reality and who know how to connect with their audience. So my hope is over time, because we'll be doing a series of concerts, maybe 3 or 4 a year, at the solstices, on or around the solstices and the equinoxes, over time that a Sangha will take form, where people can mingle, meet old friends, make new connections. Because we're living in these really divisive and fractured times where social isolation is a virtual epidemic. So it seems to me that community, and especially a heart-centered community, can be of real value. And Commonweal, which itself is an inclusive and welcoming community, is the perfect venue for that to happen. So today we have 2 exceptional musicians, Mariah Parker, Matthew Montfort, who have a long history of friendship and collaboration. Mariah will be playing the piano and the santur. She'll say more about that. And Matthew will be playing the scalloped fretboard guitar. For 20 years, Mariah has been leading the Indo Latin Jazz ensemble, which brings together jazz, Latin, and classical Indian influences. And Matthew's been an integral part of the ensemble for, since its inception. Some of you may have had a chance to hear the Indo Latin Jazz Ensemble back in April. They were performing at 142 Throckmorton. And this was a thrilling performance. And what stood out for me, not just the music, which was impeccable, but, the deep rapport which I experienced with the musicians. There was almost this palpable flow of affection moving between the musicians. And it was also at this concert where Mariah released her latest album. It's called Windows Through Time. I love the title. It suggests to me a movement through time, into the timeless, into other dimensions of reality, an opening into the infinite. Several years ago, when Mariah was just first composing music for this album, she played the title track. And even though it was a rough draft, I mean, I was blown away. And I just had the clear sense that Mariah was moving to a new level of her musical and personal development. And the CD is, first of all, has received a lot of critical acclaim. It's on a number of top 50 lists, and it's already reaching a global audience. So I highly recommend this album, 7 tracks, 7 spicy and original tracks. And then several weeks ago, we were having lunch, and I was asking Mariah, what she had in mind when she performs, what her intention is, how she conceives of music. And one of the things she said, that for her, music is an unfolding journey into the eternal present. That's a profound insight. And on a much more mundane level, I would say that in my experience, it's impossible to hear Mariah without feeling good, really good. So, and then Matthew, whom I'm just getting to know, I've had the pleasure of hearing him several times. As I was saying, he's a vital component, has been, of the Indo Latin Jazz Ensemble since its inception. But he's also had a distinguished career outside the ensemble. He was the co-founder and leader of Ancient Futures. This is one of the very first world fusion bands. He's been a pioneer in playing and popularizing this unique instrument, the scalloped fretboard guitar. He's played with any number of world music luminaries. 2 in particular are close to my heart, Swapan Chaudhary and Zakir Hussain, who just recently passed, masters of the tabla, whom I had a chance to hear many times with the great maestro Ali Akbar Khan. And Matthew is also a versatile and inspirational teacher, a producer. He produced the first 2 albums of the band, and a gifted composer. I believe we're going to hear pieces that Matthew wrote for the santur. So we're really in for a treat this afternoon. These longtime friends and collaborators, Mariah and Matthew, coming together with their special kind of alchemy. And they'll be playing 1 set without an intermission. And I should add that this is really a rare opportunity to hear these 2 really fine musicians in concert, just the 2 of them. That doesn't happen very often. So it's now my great pleasure and privilege to welcome to our 2nd Festival of Sacred Music concert, Mariah Parker and Matthew Montfort.
I just want to say thank you so much, Toby, for that beautiful introduction. Thank you and Michael Lerner for inviting us here. We're really honored and happy to be here. Thank you all for coming, being a part of this. We hope you enjoy this musical journey. We're going to start with a piece that was inspired by a celestial event that was occurring when I wrote it, and the name is Eclipse.
going to do a piece that I wrote now. By the way, the name of the band is Ancient Future. So this is a piece, it's called Moonbath. It changes time signature all over the place. I wrote it back in 1978 when I was very young and adventurous. It came up with a little nickname for it. It's called New Math instead of Moonbath. 2, 3, 4.
Thanks so much. That is one thing Matthew and I have in common is a love of the odd meters. As a composer, I love the melodic possibilities. This next piece is in 10/8, and it's called 10 Again. So this next piece, it came through fully formed at 3 a.m. It came through as a kind of a musical prayer, and it's called For the Waters. This is a piece from the new album, Windows Through Time. And duende is a Spanish word that, to me, it's about sort of the struggle to fully inhabit and embody one's passion and purpose. So, duende. father died when I was 7 years old. The poignancy of this next piece was kind of born out of a recent discovery of a treasure trove of love letters between my parents during World War II. So those letters gave me a window into who my father was and the depth of their love. Rendezvous is my homage to them. Thanks so much. That last one was Between the Lines, which was from my first album, Sangria. And now we're going to play the title track to that. Thank you. We're going to close with another piece of Matthew's called East of the Sun.
And it's coming out on April 4th with Mariah. And it's actually original Ancient Future member, me, and Benji Wertheimer.
Thank you all so much. It's great playing here. Very happy to be here. Thank you.
Encore. Encore.
Okay.
Okay, all right. We shall end with a little sacred music, rock and roll.
So actually, on April 4th, this piece is actually this piece that we're going to play. We recorded the same day. It's called "The Spirit of Nirvana," and it's actually already you can already pre-order it. It's already there, and it's going to come out on April 4th. And the piece before East of the Sun actually got named the first time we played it live on the radio. It didn't have a name, and somebody called in and said, "Call it that." So we did. So anyway, and that was on April Fool's Day when that happened. Okay, so Spirit of Nirvana.
Don't take it, don't, don't take it, don't, don't take it, don't, don't take it, don't, don't take it, don't take it, don't take it, don't take it, don't.
The river is a healer, the river is a